Mr. Tao Maung says stability and economic development must be achieved first before the impatient will for democratization. Like the boy at the restaurant, here, on the road to a sightseeing spot called Bago, children are working.
Including the children?
Yeah, right.
What is called forced labor occurs when some trouble arises between the junta and the people. Every family near the junta's projects must send someone to work. But the fathers have their own jobs because they can't afford their families with such public work, which pays little or nothing. So, the parents send their children off and then go to work in the rice fields. Does it have to boost industry even at the sacrifice of human rights? Daw Aung San Suu Kyi persistently replies to this difficult question.
I do not think that the human rights situation in one country has any direct link with the human rights situation in another. But of course, in a sense, it's all linked all over the world. Human rights is human rights.
She always appeals for restriction of aid until democratization has been confirmed to the international community, and yet she seems to be seeking a happy medium.
You know, this is something that I think we've got to work out. It's a chicken and egg, isn't it? Is it because of the middle class that democracy comes, or is it because of democracy that the middle class becomes strong? And I think perhaps it is very difficult to really say which comes first.
An ethnic Indian businessman seems to take her ideas pessimistically from a financial viewpoint.
Even if Aung San Suu Kyi said to invest or not to say to invest, the multinational corporations, if they come with them, say 100 million, 200 million, quite a lot of capital. Yes. I think they will come. Even if Aung San Suu Kyi bikes,
They will not come.
they will not come. Because why? They have to bring in quite a lot of money.
In September, Daw Aung San Suu Kyi began to espouse the firm conviction that the government should have improved human rights by increasing employment and controlling inflation, and that it should have undertaken comprehensive educational and medical services. As the daughter of the father of national independence, Daw Aung San Suu Kyi became a star for democracy through her 6-year house arrest. Now she is required to serve as a politician. The minority forces that had fought the junta for half a century have agreed to a ceasefire agreement.
Three group, if they can sit on the table together and negotiate, I think we'll get a solution very quickly. But we never sit before. These three groups never sit on a round table to talk to each other, to discuss the problem, to find a solution. So I think the best way, these three groups sit on the table and talk, so we'll get the solution.
The junta intends to pay lip service to the transfer of power after enforcing a constitution that justifies military intervention in a national emergency. I heard how NLD copes with this from the former NLD chairman, a well-known politician who once served as Minister of Defense, Mr. Thin Oo.
1990, she always stressed that the 1990 election should be honored. Should be honored. That's it.
How about the actual policies, the platform that you put forth? Anything be changed? Have conditions,
No.
Have conditions in the country?
We are not pushing the new government will be formed by the successful candidates of the 1990 election. Right. We are not forcing it because there is quite a lot of problems and the slow too.
Must the NLD compromise to such an extent if it wants dialogue without returning to step one? Mr. Tien is hoping for the democratizing support of donors like Japan.
I hope because we are the government and very much responsible for the country, and they said that they have a good friendship for the Japanese people in other countries. So sometimes, yes, in some extent, they have to listen by the advice of the Japanese government, in my own opinion. Because the Japanese government is doing it with the sincerity, I hope, with sincere sense. During the time of our release, I've learned, myself and Uchima release, I've learned that from the radio, from BBC, stating about the Japanese government desire of giving some kind of grant because of our, seems to be because of our release. If Daw San Suu Kyi is about to be released, then the relationship with Burma giving aid will be somewhat prosper. So that is a sign given during the time of our release. So it can presume that Daw San Suu Kyi is released some kind of desire and a wish of the Japanese government.
This is Mingaradon Airport, which is about to see expanded construction through ODA from Japan. Although undesirable, the reality is that the junta has seized full power with guns. Compromise seems inevitable as a tactic for democratization, rather than having more people face torture and their surviving families lose their means of livelihood. Yet the larger goal of democracy is never missed.
Smoking is confined to cigarettes.